Haley, first question, did you get that whiskey and ice cream you wanted?
Yes, sir. First thing.
Is there like a menu to order, or do you tell them, I want this, even if it's not on the menu, this is what I want?
I don't know how it logistically works out. All I know is that that was the first thing I got when I walked into Ponderosa, and it was right there waiting for me. So maybe they're just on it.
Gotcha. Who did you see at Ponderosa? Who was still there hanging out?
Caitlin and Billy, Adrian, the best producer in the world, and our awesome chefs and people taking care of the grounds.
Gotcha. So no other castaways.
Dr. Liza was there. Yeah. Love Dr. Liza. Yeah.
And your comment at Tribal Council about how the original colonists were actually flippers, that was so funny and right on the mark. Was that something you came up with right there on the spot?
Yeah, it was. I was scrambling to get Sierra on our side, and it's hard to beat America in an argument. So that's what I went for.
You looked really shocked at Tribal Council about being voted off. On a scale of 1 to 10, how surprised were you?
I was at an 8. The other 20% was me just practically thinking what I needed to leave behind, how I could best take care of the people I cared about with the possessions on my person. But the other 80% was like, what just happened? So much just fell apart so quickly, and I have no idea how.
Right. And, we do predictions here at Gold Derby, and we ask people, who do you think is going home? You were way down in 7th place, so there was like 6 people ahead of you people thought would go home.
Yeah, not cool. I wish they were right.
Yeah, and, the way the episode was edited, it really looked like Dan was going home. So how pissed are you that he's still in the game?
I don't know if I'm like pissed that Dan's in the game when I get voted out. I'm pissed that Sierra didn't go with us because I was so excited about the Girls Alliance. That was the first strategic plan I had been stoked on the whole game, and I really wanted to see it come together. So as far as Dan goes, I don't know. I didn't interact with Dan much. I had no beef with Dan until now. I've been watching the season.
Right. And, who do you think is the most annoying person out there?
Still out there?
Yeah.
Looking at the show, obviously Dan. Shireen's never annoying to me, but Dan, that's just, I don't think annoying is really a word I would use for that, but I definitely have the most negative opinion of Dan.
A lot of people think Rodney is pretty bad. How bad was he to get along with out there?
I'm Rodney's cheerleader. I like Rodney. You're not going to get negative from me about Rodney. He is who he is. The thing that sets Dan apart from Rodney to me is that Rodney is Rodney through and through. Dan presents one side of himself and shows us another.
And you talk about your friendships there with Jen and Joe. Are you guys still friends today? Because you were really close out there.
Oh, for real. Yeah. I'm friends with them. I'm friends with Shane. I'm friends with Mike. I'm like on good terms with everyone, but genuine friendships with Jen and Joe.
Would there ever be a potential for you to like flip on Jen and Joe and maybe go with the blue collars, or was it like you three to the end?
It was absolutely not Joe to the end. I was ready to get him out. I was so sad when he won that last immunity.
Oh wow! So you would have maybe gone with.
If Joe had lost that immunity, Girls Alliance was on lock. It's Joe's fault.
Oh man,
I'm
that's
not
really
interesting. Go to the end. Heck no. trying to win.
What's that?
Yeah. I said I'm trying to win.
Right.
If you could do anything. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah. If I'm being honest with myself, I think that I might have sabotaged my strategy to not flip on Jen just because that's just wrong. But Joe, it's easy.
So going back to last week when Jen pulled out that idol, did she tell you beforehand that she was going to do that, or were you shocked when she did that?
She told me 5 minutes before we headed out to Tribal that she had that idol, so it was still sinking in.
Right. And what did you think of the twist of the season about blue collar versus white collar versus no collar? And were you on the right tribe in that twist?
The original tribe designation's a theme is a really cool social experiment, because I think what we're seeing play out is people adopting their banner into their personalities even more than, for me, for example, I think I could have easily been on the white collar tribe and excelled there. But on the no collar tribe, I adopted the customs and assimilated and was the poster child of being no collar, just going with the flow. So I don't know if I was on the right tribe, but I certainly think that the tribe designation was interesting, and that I fit to form, even if it wasn't my true colors to begin with.
Mm-hmm. It's a hit with the fans too, because last night's ratings, Survivor beat American Idol and it beat The Voice. So this season is really it's really, what's the word I'm looking for? People are really resonating to this twist.
That's neat.
And
maybe
let's talk about
something to relate to.
Yeah, I think that might be it. Let's talk about the challenges. What was your favorite challenge out there, and what was your most hated challenge?
My favorite challenge was, I don't know if it was the third, it was the water challenge, where we actually lost it, but I totally enjoyed every second of it. Tossing the balls into the hoop, the basketballs, and getting through do you know which challenge I'm talking about? I'm trying to remember what episode it's from.
I'm trying to remember.
It was in the water, when the one that Will got hung up on. He got tangled up.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
That was just an enjoyable challenge. It was fun. It was fun to do. I hated the slide puzzle challenge. My puzzle pieces weren't sliding right, and I just I don't know. It's like my brain just checked out. I was neck and neck with Rodney for last place. Are you kidding me? Definitely the worst challenge ever for me.
Mm-hmm.
This is just wasn't meant to be.
Right. If you could do anything over again, if you were to get a Survivor redo, what would it be?
Yeah. I would have distanced myself from Jen at the merge. And even pre-merge, I would have developed more of a relationship with Carolyn when she was with us, and distanced myself more from Jen. And taken Will a little more under wing.
Yeah, Will seems to be a wild card, because I remember, episode 2, he didn't go along with the plan of your guys' that you had, and then he's all of a sudden flipping on the no collars.
And I think that we just forgot history a little too quickly, because I remember thinking Will's not a good person to take into the merge because he was so unpredictable, but he just cozied up to us so well and seemed to genuinely love us, but joke was on us.
And what was the hardest thing about Survivor? Was it the social interactions, or the lack of food, or the lack of sleep, or what was it that was just the hardest thing to overcome?
It was the social thing for me. I hate drama so much. And there was a lot of drama. And, like, in real life, I do whatever I can to avoid drama, so I don't even know why I went on Survivor. I mean, I love Survivor. I would do it again in a heartbeat, but it's so not my cup of tea. So just dealing with drama 24/7 was horrible, and I think that's why Jen and I gravitated to each other so much, because we could just go off and talk amongst ourselves and not be involved in the drama.
Mm-hmm. And, you know, what are your final thoughts about this whole experience?
I have a lot more respect for Survivor than I did before. It just demands all of your faculties, and it's a cool human social experiment. It changed my life for the better. I thought maybe I had regrets when I first got off, but now I see how it impacted me, and I'm so glad that it switched things up in my life. So
awesome.
No
Thanks
real
so much,
regret.
Haley.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you. Good talking.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Thanks.